Good morning to one and all. This is Nagajyoti working as an assistant professor in Department of ECE in St. Peter's Engineering College. So today in this session I want to discuss the topics of magnetic circuits, the concept of self-inductance, mutual inductance, concept of coupling coefficient. So coming to the first one, before going for the self-inductance and mutual inductance, first we must know a concept of magnetic circuit. So here a magnetic circuit is defined as a closed path which is traced by lines of force called as flux. That itself indicates in case of a magnetic circuit it should have a closed path, and whatever the force which is present in the magnetic circuit is called as a flux. So in case of a magnetic circuit we will be using some terminology like flux, field strength, flux density, permeability, and so on. So here what is meant by a flux? So in order to understand the concept of a magnetic circuit, let me take an example of a transformer. So in case of a transformer, it transfers the energy from one end towards the other end. But how the transformation of energy is taking place is nothing but in terms of a magnetic field. So here if we take an iron bar, on that iron bar, if we wound a coil on that iron bar and if we apply some external voltage, the current is flowing through that of the iron bar. Whenever the current is flowing through a coil, due to that it will induce some force. That force is called as magnetomotive force. So here rate of change of voltage due to the variations of current, how much amount of flux induced is nothing but called as a MMF, magnetomotive force. So here coming to the concept of self-inductance, in case of a self-inductance we will be using a single iron bar. On this single iron bar we are placing a coil, wounding a coil on that iron bar. Whenever an external voltage is applied to this circuit, as it is a closed path, whenever we are applying some voltage to this path, it will induce some voltage, it will induce some current. So the current which is flowing through the coil will generate some form of flux. So the amount of flux produced in this coil depends upon how many number of turns or how many number of turns which has been wounded on the iron bar, as well as how much amount of current is flowing through that. So in this terminology we can say that according to the Faraday's laws, the voltage induced in the coil is proportional to the number of turns as well as rate of change of magnetic flux, or in other words we can say that rate of change of magnetic flux in turn depends upon the number of turns as well as rate of change of current. So here or induced voltage depends upon the number of turns and change of flux, but the change of flux depends upon the amount of current which has been produced. That is the reason here I am doing d phi by dt can be written it as d phi by di into di by dt, or I can say that I am multiplying and dividing the first equation with that of di. So we can write down voltage induced in the coil is equivalent to N into d phi by di into di by dt, or in other words we can say that V is equivalent to L di by dt. So here what is meant by L is nothing but self-induced EMF. So here why we are saying that EMF as a self-induced EMF is because the EMF or the voltage induced in the coil is due to of its own flux, means only a single flux is generating, that flux is also linked up with a single coil. So the same coil is generating the same flux. For that reason we are calling this as self inductance. So here we can say that the self inductance L is equivalent to N d phi by dt, and the units for these self inductance are henries. Now coming to the mutual inductance. So in case of a self inductance we are using a single coil, but here the name itself indicates that mutual means there is some other coil along with this coil. So in case of a mutual inductance we are having two inductors, and these two inductors are closely placed to each other. So whenever we are applying a voltage for one side, due to that the application of that voltage, some current is flowing through the coil 1, as well as second coil is also placed near to the coil 1. Due to the same first current only, there is other more flux which is generated in the second coil. Means by application of a single voltage, the different flux are induced, that is self flux, that is self inductance due to that of the same current in the first coil, and the second is due to that of the opposite current flowing in the second coil. So in order to understand the concept of this mutual inductance, here we need to consider two coils. I am assuming that one coil is L1 and the second coil is L2, and this L1 and L2 both are placed close to each other, and for the first time I am assuming that I am applying some voltage which is for L1. So due to that voltage it will generate some current is flowing through that of the L1. So whenever the current I1 is flowing through the L1, it will induce some flux. That flux we are representing it as phi 11. So here phi 11 represents flux generated in coil 1 due to current 1, that is due to the first condition. Similarly, due to the same current, some other flux is generated in the second coil. That flux generated is represented by phi 12. So here phi 12 represents phi 1 is nothing but due to the current I1 current, and 2 is nothing but flux is generated in the second coil. So here the total magnetic flux phi 1 from coil 1 has two components, that is flux phi 11 which is linking with the coil 1, similarly phi 12 which is linking with coil 1 as well as the coil 2. So the total flux generated at the phi 1 is phi 11 plus phi 12. So as we have seen how to represent the voltage induced in the coil in the self inductance is V is equivalent to N d phi by di or N into di by dt. Similarly here also we can write down V1 is equivalent to N1 d phi 11 by di1 into di1 by dt. So if I want to represent in terms of an inductance, instead of number of turns I can replace the same equation as V1 is equivalent to L1 into di1 by dt. Now if I want to find out how much voltage has been induced in the coil 2, so here as I am applying the current only in the coil 1, but it will induce two form of fluxes. One is in the coil 1, the second is in the coil 2. So the voltage induced in the coil 2 depends upon the number of turns present in the coil 2. So V2 is equivalent to N2 into how much flux is generated at the second coil is phi 12, that is d phi 1 by di1 into di1 by dt. As the flux generated is in the opposite coil, but due to that of the current in the first coil, this type of inductance is called as a mutual inductance. So here d phi 12 by di1 is called as mutual inductance. What is meant by a mutual inductance is we are applying the current for one coil, but the flux induced is in the opposite coil due to the application of the current in the other coil. That concept is called as a mutual inductance. Similarly, the second condition is, in the previous circuit we have assumed that the current is flowing or the voltage V1 is applied and the current is only due to that of the I1. Now we are assuming that we are applying some current to the coil 2, that current is I2 current, and because of this I2 current, this I2 current is flowing through the L2 coil. So it will generate some flux due to that of the second current which is flowing through the L2. That flux is phi 22. So this L2 generates phi 22 flux which is due to that of the I2 current. This inductance is called as self inductance. But as the two coils are placed to each other, due to this I2 current there is some other flux which is generated at L1 also. That flux is represented by phi 21. So here phi 2 represents due to that of the second current, but it is linking with that of the first coil. That is the reason we are representing it as phi 21. So here the total flux generated at the second is nothing but phi 2 is equivalent to phi 21 plus phi 22. So as we have written, the voltage induced in the coil 2 is nothing but V2. So the number of turns related to the second coil is also N2. So the total flux at that coil is phi 22 as well as phi 21. First we will be writing the self induced flux followed by the mutual induced flux. So here V2 is equivalent to N2 into d phi 22 by di2, because this phi 22 flux is due to the presence of I2 current, and di2 by dt. This d phi 22 by di2 can be represented as self induced inductance or self induced inductance, which is represented by L2. So we can write down this as V2 is equivalent to L2 di2 by dt. And similarly, due to the flux at first coil, that is current is flowing, I2 current is flowing, but some flux is induced in the first coil, that flux is phi 21. Due to this phi 21 flux, there is some other voltage has been induced in the coil 1. That coil 1 voltage is V1 and the number of turns related to the coil 1 is N1. So amount of flux is 21. So V1 is equivalent to N1 into d phi 21 by di2 into di2 by dt. Now we are saying this corresponding inductance as mutual inductance because the actual current is flowing through I2, as I2 is flowing through L2, as L2 is near towards the L1. Some other flux is induced in the L1 because of the opposite current. So this inductance is called as a mutual inductance. So here, since the two circuits and two currents are same, so we are assuming that the how much amount of current which is flowing in the coil 1, the same amount of current is flowing in the coil 2. That is the reason I am saying that the mutual inductance present in 2 1, that is second side, will be is equivalent towards the first side. Whether the inductance may be either the mutual inductance or self inductance, it will induce some form of flux. So the units, either the inductance is self or mutual inductance, units are henries. So the basic difference between the mutual inductance and self inductance is, in case of a mutual inductance we will be having two coils, but in the two coils I am assuming that one coil is L1 and the other coil is L2. The number of turns on the coil 1 is N1, number of turns on the coil 2 is N2, but we are applying some current is flowing through the coils, only one current at a time. So whenever I1 current is flowing through L1, it will induce its own flux, which is nothing but phi 1 flux. Because the two coils are nearby, it will also induce some other flux due to that of the same current, but in the opposite coil. That opposite flux which has been induced due to that of the first coil current is nothing but called as a mutual inductance. So here, in order to know what is the importance of this coupling coefficient, so here the coupling coefficient is represented by K, or the coefficient of coupling coefficient is also called as coefficient of coupling, or it is also called as magnetic coupling coefficient. So here what is the need, or what is the importance of this coupling coefficient is, it determines how much close these two coils are present. So it is the measurement that how much amount of magnetic coupling is present between the two coils. In general, the range of K is always in between 0 to 1. So this coefficient of coupling is defined as total flux linked with the other coil, that is how much amount of fraction of total flux is linked up with the total flux. So here, that is, we can represent the coefficient of coupling as mutual flux by total flux. So here I can represent in a formula as K is equivalent to phi 12 by phi 1 or phi 21 by phi 2. So here phi 12 is nothing but mutual flux due to that of the current which is flowing in the L1 coil, that is phi 1 flux. Similarly, phi 21 by phi 2 is nothing but phi 21 is a mutual flux due to that of the flux which is present towards the coil 2. So if we multiply the equations of the mutual inductance of both, that is for L1 side as well as L2 side, we can represent this mutual inductance in terms of the coefficient of coupling as M is equivalent to K into root over L1 L2. So here M is nothing but mutual inductance, K is coefficient of coupling, and L1 is self inductance of coil 1, L2 is inductance of coil 2. So if the value of K is equivalent to 0, that itself indicates both the coils are apart from each other, means there is no flux linkage between the coil 1 as well as coil 2. If K is equivalent to 1, that itself indicates both the coils are perfectly coupled, means whatever the coils which we are using, both the coils is as close to each other. So whatever the amount of flux which has been generated in the coil 1 will be is equivalent to flux generated in the coil 2. Coming to the third condition, when K is less than 0.5, that itself indicates two coils are loosely coupled. Here loosely coupled itself indicates whenever there is change in the current values in the I1 as well as I2, there will be change in the flux linkages of phi 1 as well as phi 2. So as flux linkage is dependent on the amount of current flowing through the coils, if the K value is less than 0.5, that itself indicates we can vary the flux linkage depending upon the amount of current. Similarly, when K is greater than 0.5, itself indicates both are tightly coupled, means we cannot change any amount of flux linkage between the coil 1 and coil 2. So here the K value specifies how much closeness the two coils are present, that is if you take an example of a transformer, on the transformer we are having a windings internal in the transformer. So the amount of windings which are present for the one side as well as the second side of the transformer, how much closely both the windings are present, that will give you the importance of this coefficient of coupling. So here the coefficient of coupling gives the information about how much mutual flux has been generated for a corresponding total flux. So this is all about the concept of coefficient of coupling, magnetic coupling circuit, self inductance and mutual inductance. Thank you.